Good part of the day. Oops, my dear friends, I forgot my microphone. The microphone may help, right? I forgot to bring it closer to me. Okay. So, one more time, good part of the day, my dear digital friends. And Adira is here. I am doing multi streaming again on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So, I'm waiting for people to join this live stream. I see a couple of people already joined me, and I'm waiting for more people. So let me explain to you what is it that I'm going to talk about today. And of course, we will be talking about how anyone on this planet can live stutter-free in almost no time. And when I talk about this topic, it is natural for me to wait for people who are part of this podcast, who join me live. I give them a chance to ask their questions. And if I see your questions, I will stop my lecture and I will be answering your questions directly. This is why at the moment I am waiting for your questions. Okay. So, and until the questions are not there, until I don't see anyone joined me, let me, okay, let me entertain you a little bit with a short video I published a couple of days ago. Usually these kind of videos gain a lot of interest of all kinds of people. So, and I would like to share just not even a minute video with you where the true fact, the true story is being told. This story took place many years ago, actually like maybe 10, 15 years ago. And the story took place in Ukraine. Over there, they discovered a little 3-year-old girl that lived in the yard and stayed warm, attempted to stay warm in the doghouse, in the place where an old dog was taking care of this little girl. The reason for this to happen was that this girl was born into the family of alcoholics. It was in Ukraine, and today a lot of people know the name of this country, Ukraine. So in this country, people truly live very poorly. Not a lot of this, I mean, not all of the people, but a lot of people living in the farms, living very poorly in like extreme poverty. And a lot of them are alcoholics. They drink a lot. That's why they don't care about anything. When they get sober, yes, they do take care of their children. But whenever they drink, they may forget even about their own child. And this is exactly what happened when this little girl was left outside in the cold, and the parents were too drunk to care about the girl. So, and the 3-year-old baby was looking for the warmth, and she crawled inside of the doghouse, and the dog saved its life. So this girl was communicating more with the dog than with people. So the girl had very limited human contact. And when she was discovered, she was already like developed more like a dog than like a child. And I wanted to share with you this short video to show it to you. If you still haven't seen the video, here it is. So I'm gonna share it is with you. Here we go. So you see this girl. Of course, here she's not already 3 years old, because when she was 7, they discovered her. They brought her back to people, and they put her in a foster home for children. And just listen to the story. I'm gonna start the story. Here it is. Okay, here it is for Instagram people. Okay, here is the story. I'm gonna play it right now. Let's go.
This Ukrainian girl was neglected by her alcoholic parents at 3 years old. One night, they were too drunk to care and left her outside in the cold, looking for warmth. The girl crawled into the farm kennel, curling up with a mongrel dog, probably saved her life. Up until 7 years old, the kennel was her home, and the dog was her mother.
She had very little human contact and behaved like a dog. When discovered, she was more like a dog than a child. At 7 years old, she did not speak like a human, but barked like a dog. Specialists believed that she'd never catch up and be able to speak like other people, but she proved them wrong. In 2013, she gave an interview on Ukrainian TV. She talked about her life in foster homes and work with animals on the farm. Her incredible success has proven that it is never late to learn to speak.
Okay.
This Ukrainian girl.
Let me go back to you, StreamYard. Okay. So as you saw in the story explained, let me do it this way. As you saw in this short video, that the girl was already 7 years old when she was discovered. And guess what? She still didn't have the skills to speak. And this is what all the specialists, they insist. I mean, when they saw this girl at 7 years old and not speaking, instead of speaking but barking, guess what they said? They said, let me stop sharing the video. Okay, they said that there is no way the girl could catch up and begin speaking like all other people on the planet. They simply didn't believe that, because the scientists, and they still believe that if a child has missed the time of the early childhood and still hasn't learned how to speak, how to move their tongue basically to produce accurately and with these words, just like all other people on the planet, right? So they believe that because of that, there is no way this child may grow up and become a speaker, learn to speak. But the girl proved them wrong. And why I'm using this example, it's very simple. It's a great example for people who stutter, because it proves that it's never late to learn to speak well, without mistakes, without stuttering, without cluttering, without any other incorrect use of your tongue. It's never late. And another proof of the discovery that I have made many years ago is that people of any age come to me, learn to speak in only 3 days according to the natural speech norms, and they fixed their speech. And it doesn't matter how many years they were stuttering before. It doesn't matter how many speech professionals they've been through, how many times they went to speech therapy sessions. It doesn't matter. It all doesn't matter. It is never late to learn to speak at any age. And this is the reason I keep coming up live, so I could answer your questions, my dear friends. Speech is an instrumental skill. Instrumental. What does it mean? It means that all people on the planet have exactly the same speech instrument. Speech instrument. We all have exactly the same musical instrument called speech pipe. This is how I call it, a speech pipe. But unfortunately, not everyone has learned to use this speech pipe in the correct way. And when we use our speech pipe in the wrong way, we always stutter. We always make mistakes. We always stumble. It's inevitable. So, but I am here to simply explain to each and every person on the planet the truth about stuttering. The truth. What stuttering truly is. What any person who stutters needs to do to never stutter again. It is a very simple approach. Very simple. And by the way, this is a natural approach. Natural. This is how Mother Nature equipped us all, including those who stutter. People who stutter also have perfect body, perfect potential, the same potential to learn to speak like everyone else, to learn to use their perfect speech pipe in the correct way, but they still don't know how to do it. And anywhere they come, unfortunately, they hear the same all the time. Here are the techniques, speech techniques. You need to use special speech techniques. You need to accept your stuttering. You need to agree with the fact that you're going to be stuttering for the rest of your life. Forget about speaking professions. You will never be able to be a teacher, a public speaker, an actor, or whoever you want to be when you grow up and you want to do this, to make money of this profession. You're never going to be able to do that. That's what they say. Anywhere from social media, anywhere people who stutter come to for an advice, and where parents of stuttering children come for advice, they hear the old harmful recommendations. So the bottom line, I am here to help you guys, to help your child, to revive his or her beautiful speech at any time, at any moment. It doesn't matter how old your child is. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how many speech therapists you've been through. It is never late. So the bottom line, if you want to fix your speech, all you need today is, here are the steps. Step number 1, go to my website, livestutterfree.com. Hi, Nazir. Good to see you here. Hi. So type livestutterfree.com. You will see the link. It's called Register for the Webinar. Register and watch the webinar. Do it. Watch my free webinar. It's about 40-minute webinar. Watch it. And right after watching the webinar, enjoy, by the way, because the information I share in that webinar will change your life forever. Forever. Your life is never going to be the same because you will understand what naturally normal speaking is and what you truly need to do to fix your speech, to forget about stuttering, to awaken from this nightmare once and for all. Nazir wrote, "Good evening, ma'am." Yeah, good evening. Nazir, what time is it in your part of the world? Because I'm surprised. When I went live, when I started and turned the Instagram on, I looked and I saw only 4 people, my followers on Instagram. I was truly surprised. I see more people on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and YouTube. But on Instagram, I didn't even expect more people. Okay, I now see 3 people on Instagram. Good to see you guys. Okay, so I am suspecting that it is really late in the, yeah, it's 9 p.m. Okay, it's not that late. It's Thursday. Of course, you're going to have to go to work tomorrow. Maybe that's why people are no longer in social media. They are no longer on Instagram. But Nazir, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, because I just completed my presentation and I was gonna wrap it up unless you guys ask me questions. So any questions? I see people are watching me on YouTube and I see a few people on Instagram. So I'm gonna repeat what I just said. This is my place. I go live almost every Thursday. Almost. I do my best to never skip Thursday live stream because I am here to simply guide you away from the stuttering nightmare. Stuttering nightmare, it's a whole bunch of lies. Unfortunately, this is true. A whole bunch of lies, okay? This is why I want you to understand that you people who stutter, oh, Morocco, 1628. Okay, so in Morocco is not late at all. It's a good time. Some people may be still at work, right? Around 5 o'clock. So what I wanted to share with you. You know what? I'm going to go because I see people watching me. Let me go to my... Okay. I am going to go to my... I'm looking for it. Instagram. Instagram. Here we go. Instagram. Yeah. And I will scroll to... No, not here. It's been a while since I posted it. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna go back to StreamYard and I will present. I will share. Stop. Okay, present. Bear with me. I'm gonna share screen and I will do window. Chrome tab. No, Chrome tab. Okay, here we go. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to this place. Okay, so I want you people on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, I want you to look at this picture. God, it's hard to see it. Okay. No, I don't like this. Remove from stream full screenly. How about this? I want you to see everything that is written here. I hope you can see it. Let me know if you see it. So anyway, here is the picture I wanted you to see, and I'm gonna share with my Instagram viewers the same picture as well. I'm gonna go to this and let you guys see on Instagram. I want you to see this. So on this image, you can see one person walking through the crowd. And the image says this message: most people around you are not just ordinary people, but ringtone masters. And when people listen to my live podcast, they are truly lost when they hear the word I use. It's called ringtone. What is a ringtone? Unfortunately, this is the knowledge that none of people, the specialists who are supposed to help people who stutter, are aware of. This is the core of the program that I am teaching all my students. This is the main concept that my students have discovered during the 3 days, and they've practiced it practically. They have discovered what ringtones are, what we need to do in order to speak, in order to produce ringtones with our tongues. This is how any person on the planet can learn to speak without even one little stumble. When they become aware of the natural way human tongue works, the natural way. Human tongue works with ease and with accuracy. And I am going to share with you a little bit what does it mean ringtone. Every ringtone is the name of the short melody of the voice that every person, every adequate speaker on the planet produces by moving his or her tongue only one time. By moving the tongue one time from top of the mouth to the bottom, dropping the tongue in the mouth, we all produce a so-called ringtone. Ringtone, it's the voice melody, natural melody we produce with one movement of our tongue from top to bottom. I can call it also, it's a free fall of the tongue. Free fall of the tongue in our mouth. People who speak with no problem, they all are ringtone masters. They all have learned this natural skill from birth. And this is why when they speak, they never even think about speaking. Never. It's not a problem. Their tongue just dropping freely, falling in their mouth all the time, producing ringtones. And they are not even aware of that. They're just doing it just the way, I'll give you a little example. When you are walking, do you ever think about how you walk? How your legs move? Of course not. You're used to it. You got used to it when you were a 1-year-old baby. You learned to do it. This is why today, whenever you walk, you just look. Of course, you need to see where you're walking, where are you putting your foot to make sure you don't step in a puddle of water or, it's not slippery. You don't step on the ice or whatever, right? Of course, you need to choose the path where you walk, but you never worry about how your walking occurs. because you got used to it when you were a little child. The same is happening to all normal people on the planet, to all of us. Children are just doing it naturally without asking even questions. They move their tongue according to ringtones. They learn to produce ringtones when they're young. But unfortunately, about 1% of the world population stops learning to move their tongue according to ringtones at a very young age and begin thinking about how to speak. And of course, instead of teaching how the tongue works, what do teachers and speech therapists do? They teach children to speak according to the way we move our hand, according to the way we write, not according to the way we speak, but according to the way we write. This is why children develop a huge confusion in their mind, a huge confusion. And this is why they begin making mistakes, a lot of mistakes. Okay? Yeah. Oh, Danny, hi. Okay. So the bottom line, I want to go back to, so here is what I wrote in that article. Do you know why people around you speak so well, but you still stutter? The answer is very simple. Unlike you, people who stutter, all ordinary people, and look at this person. This person may be a stutterer, and all the people around him are not. Why? All these people around this man, they all are ringtone masters. Their tongue is a master of producing ringtones. All these people have mastered the skill to accurately extract vocal ringtones from their speech instrument. The discovery of ringtones as a core of human speech is a revolution in science and education. So I am here to invite you all, my dear people who stutter, my dear speech strugglers. All you need to do, you also need to become a ringtone master and never stutter again. What do you need to do for that? Go to www.livestutterfree.com and register for watching the webinar about the 4 steps to a stutter-free life. This is all you need to do. Let me see if there are any people who are watching me but not asking questions. And I want to also add here, I want you to understand that for as long as you have gained the mastery of the ringtones, of the movements of your tongue, you will never become free of stuttering. You will remain a stutterer for the rest of your life. I also would like to stop screen. I also would like to share with you another very important message. Share screen, Chrome tab. Leave Stutter-Free. Share. I'm not going to be here. I am going to see, by the way, this is my Instagram. Can you see my Instagram? Yeah, I wanted to have a little reminder because I know that sometimes Even my former students watch my live streams. Okay, so this is why I would like to talk about this. I want you to understand that each teacher is a content for the containers. Students, you see this picture? The students are sitting in front of the teacher. The teacher in red color is teaching. And the students all have their heads presented as the open containers. And look at their containers. They are filled with information presented by the teacher at the different level. Some have more information and able to retain information. Others have so-called holes in their containers. Some containers are cracked and the content is spilling out of the container. So this is kind of a little presentation of the way how we all learn in a different way. And even if you are my former student and you have any other questions and you forgot some of the information you learned during the intensive 3-day class, guess what? You need to come back to your teacher. You need to make sure that I refresh your memory and you are back to where you were during the class, after the class. Because the information I share is very specific. And the moment you begin doing anything differently than I explained to you what the natural speaking norms are, how you're supposed to use your speech pipe, just like all people on the planet, in the crowd around you, the first picture I presented to you, until you begin acting precisely in the naturally correct way, you will never ever become stutter-free. This is only one way Mother Nature has given to us. One way Mother Nature has equipped us with a perfect tool. It's called the tongue. With a perfect tool, it's called the brain. With a perfect tool, the container with carbon dioxide, it's called the lungs. But unfortunately, too many people are unaware of how to use all these perfect tools that Mother Nature equipped you with in the correct, perfect way, naturally correct way. Unfortunately, this is the truth for people who stutter. And even when they come to me, they gain a perfect speech during the class. But after the class, they stop doing what they were asked to do. They do not realize that they must complete building their tongue vocabulary. It's a must. You must complete building your tongue vocabulary. What I mean by that, moving your tongue according to ringtones for each and every word that you use in your life. And I have noticed that sometimes when my students come back, every time they come back, I ask them the same questions. The same question. Have you completed training your tongue to say all the words that you're using in your life according to the ringtones? And they say every time they hear the same answer, no, I started doing it and then I stopped because my speech was pretty good. I felt so confident. I felt so good. I stopped training my tongue. And guess what? This is exactly what I warned them about. You must complete the training, your tongue training for each and every word, because each and every word is just like a little dance. If you have learned to dance waltz, it doesn't mean you can do another type of a dance. Every dance requires a different movements of your muscles. Every dance, let's say, in order to dance waltz, you need to move your legs in a certain way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? But if you want to dance something else that requires different 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a different set of dancing. For example, I am a dancer myself. I dance Zumba, and it's very important that when you dance, you move your body, your muscles with this count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not 1, 2, 3 because it's a different set of movements of my body muscles. And if I knew how to dance waltz, when I joined Zumba, I was a stutterer in doing Zumba. I didn't understand. I had to learn it. I was stuttering. I was making mistakes. I'll tell you honestly, I even have fallen a couple of times when I attempted to follow the Zumba dance with the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. I fell down about 2, 3 times. But you know what? It never stopped me. I would get up and continue learning with more consciousness. I was doing it with kind of higher level of precision, and I learned how to dance Zumba now. This is exactly what is important for all my former students. If you guys are watching my live streams, number one, of course, I'm always here. I'm always available for you. You can always come back to me and I will remind you of things you could have forgotten. It's possible. It happens. But be prepared that I will ask you for sure, hey, have you finished building your tongue vocabulary? Learning how to dance your tongue for each and every word that you use in your life. Because if you haven't completed your tongue training, yes, you will make mistakes. You will continue making mistakes. There is nothing you can do about it other than get back to learning the dances, each and every words, each and every word. Okay, someone just wrote to me, ma'am, I am still in office working. Thanks for calling me, ma'am. Okay, Nazir. Good job. I didn't call you. You called yourself, I guess. Okay, so it's the system. I don't know. I am not responsible for the system. So, oh yeah, and by the way, I haven't finished. Here. I haven't finished. So here is another. See, there are many students, but only one teacher. There is only one teacher. There are many students, but there is only one student. Oh, I should have. And the student is explaining, I can't keep track of everyone. This is so important. I have educated thousands of students, thousands. And if you still have difficulty speaking, it means you still need to refresh your memory. You still haven't understood something, or you still haven't trained your tongue. Okay? Come back to me. I'm always available. So here it is what the message how the message goes. Don't disconnect with your teacher ever. Be in touch with your teacher. My best students are always keep they always keep in touch with me. And this is why they are my best students. Can I be my own teacher? Why won't anyone teach me better than a teacher? What would I need the teacher for, even after the course? Most of us don't like teachers because we naturally strive for freedom and independence since birth. So yeah, this is the truth that students usually don't like and don't appreciate teachers most of the time, unless the teachers are not doing a good job, unless teachers are just, oh, you're so good, or here is the excellent grade for an attendance, and they don't really push students to go further and develop themselves, okay, to strive for excellent marks. They want to be the best in the class, okay? So unless students are still unless students don't look for a good teacher, okay? Okay, someone wrote something. Thou hair seed. From the day I knew you, my life ruined. I wanted to discover it too, but I forgot about my previous life, and now I can't even walk or talk as I was before. Oh, are you telling me that I am at fault? It's my fault, right? So I am being blamed for your lack of speaking skills? Really? Thou hair seed said, you know what? This is something that people who stutter do. They blame teachers for their mistakes, for their misery. Listen, guy, why don't you come to me? I don't know you. So why don't you come to me individually, in person, and ask your questions? People look at me weird. Of course, people look at you weird because you do not use correctly your speech instrument and you behave like a weird dude. Of course, people look at you. Of course, people may be even laughing at you. It's time you get connected with a teacher who can explain to you how you should act and never look weird. Look like they look. In order to look like all other people, you need to begin doing exactly the same what other people are doing. I swear I don't know how to get up from this nightmare. Of course you don't know. This is what I am talking about, my dear. Okay, let me go back to me because I am talking to you. Second. I need to. Okay, here I am. Here you are. Okay, look at me. Of course, you don't know how to get out of this nightmare. So, this is the time when you simply go watch my webinar and schedule a free consultation with me, the teacher. I have all the information about what you need exactly to do. You, not anybody else, you. Thou seed. I know what you need to do, but you don't come to me. I guess you are fine with people laughing at you. Okay? So, yes, laughing and discuss at each other. Yeah, they're talking about you, they're discussing you. This is the way life is. People who stutter go through their life and it is a nightmare. because everyone is laughing at them. Everyone is giving them these strange looks. But I don't understand. Why don't you come to me? I truly don't understand. What is the reason you still haven't come to me? Maybe because you don't work? Maybe you don't make money? Because I don't work with those who don't work. My job is a big investment of you. I want Anna, but I'm very poor. I know. That's what I even didn't get your question. I mean, didn't get your writing, and I already knew the reason. I can't gather that money. It's too much in my country. I understand. What country are you in? What is your country? Is it India? Is it Puerto Rico? Is it South Africa? I don't know what your country is. I just listed countries where my students have come from. And Malaysia, okay? Here is another student of mine. He came from Finland, but he came from extremely poor family. He came from the country. Yeah, Africa. No, Africa. No, Africa means what? Are you from Africa? Okay, so no Africa means what? Not from Africa, or you are from Africa. So the bottom line is being poor is not a crime. Of course, you couldn't change the place where you were born. I was also born not in the United States of America. I was born in Russia, in former Soviet Union. But when I turned 39, I felt that I couldn't stay there anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. Life in the former Soviet Union felt like I was in a prison. 1998. I already had 2 young children, but it didn't stop me. I just packed all my belongings and I left Russia for good. I settled down in the United States of America because my relatives were already living here, and I was able to to make my living in the United States of America. But guess what? No one fed me for free. I got a job. I didn't make a lot of money when I got my first job. It was a job of working with old people with all kinds of mental problems. Okay, it wasn't an easy job, and they didn't pay me much. But I was happy to get some kind of a job because I wanted to settle down in the United States of America and begin making money for my children, for raising my children. We all are different. My goal was to do good, to make money for raising my children, of course, and for myself. I started from the very beginning. But as I was working, I was also going to college. I was learning to speak English language. Don't forget, I didn't speak English 20 years ago. Okay? I was constantly learning everywhere and working everywhere. And I was 39 years old. I wasn't young like you are. Okay? So when I look back over 20 years ago, I am amazed how much I have done during these years. I need probably 6 years to gather it. I see it possible in my country. Maybe you need to leave your country. Once again, my dear, what's your country? What is your country? Because if you are from Africa, then I'll tell you, I have worked with people from your country. Not all people in your country are poor. The ones that work hard get education, work hard. They make good money. Okay. Again, it depends what kind of job you're looking for. If you don't have any education, if you can do only physical labor job, then yeah, they don't pay well for this kind of jobs. Yes, it will take a little more time for you to earn the money. But I am here to tell you, no matter what country you're living in, how poor or rich you are, you can do what you want to do. Yes, you can. And once again, have you read this book? Have you? Zohar here said, I'm sorry, I don't know how to read correctly your name. See, my tongue is not trained how to say your name. Okay, that's why I'm struggling. I'm stuttering when I'm attempting to say your name. Do you see this? So, my recommendation, go to my website, download this book and read it. It will motivate you to begin working. And by the way, you can take the class even after 6 years. I've had students who would take my class in 2 years, in 5 years. I even had one student from Africa. He took the class after 7 years. 7 years. He was from Nigeria. 7 years. That's how much it took him to collect the money. But today, I am always giving all kinds of discounts because I understand that today's world is crazy. It's really like weird the way the universe works today. People don't even care about how they speak. Hassan, it's not Hassan, it's Hussein in the cover. Yes, Hussein is in the cover, on the cover. Have you read the book? Hussein. The ones who haven't read the book, here is a short story. This gentleman has come to Finland and settled down in Finland with his family when he was 3 years old. He didn't speak, period. He couldn't say even one word at 3 years old. They diagnosed him with mental retardation and placed in the school for mentally retarded children in Finland, where again he could see and imitate speech of mentally retarded children. Didn't really help him. Yes, I know too much about your videos. You know what? Videos, books, this is all great, of course. I am doing this all the time, but my dear, nobody can look at you and tell you, hey, now Hare said, you're not doing this correctly. Here is how you're supposed to do it. Books are great. I recommend you read my book because this is what Hussein did. Hussein, and see the title of the book, One Lonely Climb to Success. What's the relation about mind and heart? Who cares about this relationship? It has zero to do with speaking. It's all about coordination. It's all about being in balance with yourself. Your heart, this is how people call it. The heart is your soul. Soul. Okay? And what is your soul? It's your consciousness. It's your desire to do things on this planet. And if you have a very strong desire to fix your life and to have the best life you can ever dream of, then this is a desire that is in your soul. So your soul, your spirit, it's all the same. It's called consciousness. Consciousness. And you gotta be in balance. Everything has to be in balance. Your soul, your heart, your mind, everything must be in balance. And when you cannot speak, there is no balance. No balance. You are out of balance. Speaking is manifesting emotions, which is hard. I don't know where you get this information, but once again, emotions are your reactions to things you do in life. Things you do, okay? So don't even attempt to teach me because I understand what natural human's life is about. They use so many different words, heart, consciousness, la la la. In reality, everything is very, very simple. You were born perfectly normal. When you were born, you received a totally perfect device, electronic device called body, mind, biological computer. It's a computer. This is what you have. And when you were born, the computer was set up. It had all the settings for learning to do all kinds of things, just like a desktop on your desk, right? Your computer or your phone. You receive your phone. Oh, I'm looking for my phone and I forgot that I was using it. Okay, for doing live stream. The bottom line, you have an absolutely perfect body mind device, computer. But at some point of your life, you stopped learning to use this device in the naturally correct way. You stopped learning. Sure, babies don't know. Of course, all this and they live. No, of course. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. When babies are born, they're perfect. Okay? Nothing is wrong with them. But then at some point of baby's life, baby stops looking in the mouth of baby's parents or teachers or whatever. At some point of your life, you stop doing this. Or maybe your parents, your teachers were not good speakers. They were also stutterers. Maybe they were not making so many mistakes as you, but you had really bad role models. This is the reason you still struggle. You were learning from bad role models, and you learned to use incorrectly your tongue. The bottom line, there is nothing wrong with you today. Zohar Seed said, nothing wrong. You're perfect. But you still don't know how to move in balance all parts of your body, mind, computer. Body and mind, they need to work in coordination with your soul, with your desire to do something. Girls, even they don't attract to me because they are not attracted to me because of this evil confusion. I'm glad you're realizing that. Of course, because girls love with their ears. Girls love with ears. They don't care what you are. Oh my God, I have so many questions on Facebook, on YouTube. Guys, I wasn't on the right place. That's why I kind of missed your messages. Okay, so Zohar said is on Instagram and I was communicating with him. My dad also a stutterer and all my family. That's it. This is why you are poor. This is why you're poor. It's time you break the circle, this vicious circle. See, your relatives didn't know how to speak. Your parents don't know how to speak. Your brothers and sisters, siblings, whatever, they still don't know how to speak. You are a whole family of stutterers. Maybe you're going to be the first one who will finally stop this nightmare for your for your family. Why specifically ears? Because girls listen to the way you speak. If you are a smooth speaker, girls listen to you. Girls like when you give them compliments. Girls like when we are smooth talkers. I mean, men are smooth talkers. At least I was always listening to the way my man that I was dating, of course, for me it was very important. If the men were speaking well, they were giving me nice words, nice compliments, of course I would be interested in them. Of course. Okay, but I was never interested in stutterers. Never ever. Why? They don't even know how to speak. I'm not interested to be around them. Okay, so let me see what's written on Facebook. Spiro Caprivert wrote, I remember speaking with you back in 2017. Oh my God. You told me that you are writing a book named Stuttering Bible. It's been almost 6 years. Book is not finished yet. It's amazing that you have asked me about this. Guess what? I got back to working on it. I was translating it, I was writing it, and I noticed that it was in 2017 when I was first working on that book, The Stutterer's Bible. But I stopped. The book was too long. The way it was written in Russian language was too complicated because that book compared speaking, explained the process of speaking from different perspectives, from different points of view of different types of science. Okay? This is why it was kind of too complicated, and I decided, you know what, it's not that important for people who stutter. I'm going to put it on hold. And I have written since that a much more precise book, which is called Correcting Speech of People Who Stutter. If you're still here, Spiro Caprivert, this book. And I do recommend you buy these two books. This one, Speech is a Skill, which covers the kind of the bottom line, what speaking is, okay? That speech is a skill. You got to understand this. And then you buy and read. It's only $50 from my website, Correcting Speech of People Who Stutter. I do recommend you read this book. But today, when I don't have too many students, I mean, people are worried not about their speech. People are worried about some other things. Now I have the time to go back to the Stutterer's Bible and working on that book. It's not an easy book, I'm telling you. But if you are a speech professional, then you would be very interested in learning from that book. I promise. Okay, Zhao Hair said, wrote, thanks, I will use this rule. Okay, of course. But you got to learn to speak. How are you going to use this rule if you still are not a smooth talker? You don't speak well. How are you going to use it? Okay. So Kenan Yaldirim wrote, hello, I'm from Turkey. Why don't you add subtitles to the video? Subtitles to the video. I don't know what video you're talking about. What video are you talking about? Subtitles are added to all my videos. Are you talking about this live stream video? I'm not sure what video you're talking about. I think it's in your settings. You can go to your settings and you add videos on YouTube, video subtitles on YouTube video, any YouTube video. It's not up to me. At least I don't know. Maybe it is. Let me see. I don't know. Okay. So any other questions? Because I still do see people are watching me. I kind of started talking about my former students and I stopped. So I don't think I finished that idea. But the bottom line, if any of you who are watching my live stream and you're still my former student, I recommend you don't disconnect from me and you simply get in touch with me and have a short conversation with me on Skype or Zoom, anywhere you want, because I am the one, the only one who can really refresh your memory and get you back to where you were during the class in almost no time. I can refresh your memory because, they have this common saying in English language, use it or lose it. If you didn't understand something, if you forgot something that you learned during the class, because it is a very intensive 3-day course, extremely extensive. People are always happy at the end of the class. They begin speaking with no problem. They begin making phone calls. They are so happy. But when they leave me, they may forget something. It's possible because information I share here is nowhere to be found. I am the only source of this information. I even have students who would come to me and I would give them my books. They begin reading books. And the more they read my books, they understand it more. And you don't even have to buy my books. I would give them to you for free. If you are my student, if you graduated from my class. Okay. Hamza. Oh, okay. You know all of this and you still not believing in God. Who told you that? I do believe in God, but I do believe that God has no other tongues but humans. Of course, I believe in God. I understand clearly that we people did not create ourselves. There was some higher intelligence that created humans. We call it God. I call it Mother Nature. We all are invented by Mother Nature or God or any other higher intelligence. Someone has given us the ability to learn, imitate, and say accurately humans' words. Who did that? I say Mother Nature, exactly. And who created nature? God. Everything has been created by some higher intelligence. You can call it God. I'm not religious, but I am a very, very extremely spiritual person. I understand that everything on this planet has been created by higher intelligence. Okay? But I believe I don't believe, I am sure because I've had so much proof of that the moment we want something really, really much, and the moment we begin doing something really, really much, I mean, with a lot of power, we claim the power, the willpower from God or whoever you call it, things begin to happen in our life. Everything begins to happen. Okay? God hears us, but God gives the energy to the ones who work for God. And what is God? To me, it's the power of creation. Creation. The power of creation. So, what is it that you, Zohar said, want to create? What do you want to create yourself? You want to create yourself? You want to create your life? What is it that you want to create? You need to read Quran. Has this all what you are teaching? Exactly. You know what? One of my readers of this book, he actually is from Africa. Believe it or not, here we go. I'm talking about this book. Speech is a skill. This gentleman from Africa read my book. He paid a lot of money for me sending him through the mail, like physical copy of this book, Speech is a Skill. He read my book. Then he collected $6,000. That was the cost of my program back then. Today it's a little less. Okay, so he has collected the money and he took the class from me. And he also read to me that this book, and he talked about it. Come to me, I'll give you the link of him where he is talking about this. If you are into, okay, you know what you need to do? Go on YouTube. I know you told me you are on YouTube. Go on YouTube and go to the playlist video reports. If you go to YouTube, they have video playlists. So go to the playlist with the title video reports. Scroll down and find the video of a black guy from Africa, okay? And I forgot his name, of course, but he was talking about one of my books, Speech is a Skill. He was giving a review of this book, and he said that the book has the principles of the Bible. Bible, doesn't matter, Quran, Bible, all these books have been written by people. People, not by God. Okay? But these people were given information from somewhere, from the conscious flow was coming, and they were writing down this information. Okay? Quran writers, Bible writers, it doesn't matter. Okay? So if you read Bible, it teaches very similar things that Quran. All religious documents have a lot in common. They all teach very similar truths and a little bit of lies, unfortunately. But the bottom line is I understand pretty well how the human being is functioning on this planet. And it all depends on what we want, we humans want. If you want to build your life, then you need to begin acting. You need to begin doing it. If you haven't read this book, read how Hussein, 18-year-old kid with no job, no speech, no money in the family, he was able to collect $6,000 in 6 months. But yes, it took him about 2.5 years to collect the funds, to learn to speak English, to just overcome the fear that his family was just pushing him with, because they were telling to Hussein, oh, this lady, she's teaching online, she's gonna steal your money, you're gonna get, what's the word? Lied to, anyway. Oh, you're going to get scammed. That's what they were telling him. But I've been doing it for over 10 years. I mean, it's enough to talk about that Anna Dita is a scam. Enough. Okay. Amir, good to see you here. Hi, Amir. So I don't see any more questions. I see people are watching. And once again, if those who used to be my students, if you guys are still watching me, come to me directly, have your memory refreshed. And if you haven't completed your dictionary work, I recommend you do. And you learn how to dance each and every speech dance, all kinds of dances, words with your tongue. You got to train your tongue to complete tongue, building tongue vocabulary. Complete it. And then enjoy your stutter-free life for the rest of your life. Any questions? Ask. I am here. I'm always available. Lots of love to you and see you soon. And by the way, I'll do my best to go live every Thursday. Come around 10 a.m. Eastern time. Today I came like about 10 minutes later, but I always strive to be here from 10 to 10:30 Eastern time in the morning. Okay? Bye-bye.